Today I take you into the Tritiya and Saptami pairing. This is emotional nourishment meeting practical devotion. Tritiya says, I need care, privacy, emotional safety, and bond that feels meaningful. Saptami says, I need stability, honesty, service, discipline, and a relationship that can stand in real life. If you are in a relationship, this may explain why one of you wants emotional softness while the other wants clarity and structure. If you are single, this may help you recognize who can stabilize your own heart without suffocating it. If you are divorced or healing from breakup, this may help you understand why love failed when sensitivity and practicality stopped listening to each other. Stay until the end because I will show you why Tritiya and Saptami become powerful only when both partners stop punishing each other for having different emotional languages. Tritiya is the emotional body of nourishment. It is sensitive, private, forgiving, family-rooted, and invested in emotional continuity. If you carry Tritiya energy, you may not love casually. Even when you appear calm, there is an inner world measuring tone, safety, sincerity, and belonging. You need space, not because you do not care, but because your feelings are deep. Saptami is the emotional body of devotion. It is practical, grounded, direct, service-oriented, truth-seeking, and loyal through action. If you carry Saptami energy, you may not express love in dramatic language. You may show love by staying, working, protecting, fixing, serving, building, and taking responsibility. You become the person who proves love through behavior. Now here is the mystery. Tritiya wants to feel emotionally held. Saptami wants to feel practically trusted. Tritiya asks, are you gentle with my heart? Saptami asks, are you honest with my trust? When both questions are honored, this relationship becomes strong. When either is ignored, the bond begins to crack. In intimate relationships, Tritiya brings softness, empathy, forgiveness, and emotional memory. This person remembers the little things. What you said, how you looked, whether your voice changed, whether you were present or distracted. Saptami brings structure, discipline, truth, and consistency. This person notices whether promises are kept, whether daily life works, and whether your actions match your words. So the attraction can be powerful. Tritiya feels that Saptami is stable, real, serious, and capable of protecting the relationship. Saptami feels that Tritiya brings warmth, tenderness, emotional depth, and home. One gives heart, the other gives backbone. One softens the atmosphere, the other strengthens the foundation. Listen carefully. This pairing is not compatible because both are the same. It is compatible at the highest level because both carry what the other lacks. Tritiya may be emotionally sensitive and take things personally. Saptami may be blunt and direct. Tritiya may need time to process. Saptami may want immediate clarity. Tritiya may withdraw to feel safe. Saptami may interpret withdrawal as avoidance. Saptami may become rigid in habits. Tritiya may become too attached to comfort zones. This is why the relationship needs maturity. Without maturity, tenderness becomes emotional drama and truth becomes emotional injury. If you are a Tritiya person, understand this. Saptami may not love you through poetic words. Saptami may love you through responsibility. They may show love by handling the problem, carrying the burden, protecting the home, working hard, or being present when life becomes difficult. Do not dismiss practical love just because it does not always arrive wrapped in softness. And if you are a Saptami person, understand this. Tritiya is not weak because they are sensitive. Tritiya is not irrational because they need emotional reassurance. Tritiya feels the invisible climate of the relationship. If your tone becomes harsh, if your truth becomes cold, if your discipline becomes criticism, they will not feel loved. They may still stay, but their heart will begin to close. The highest rule is simple. Saptami must learn truth with warmth and Tritiya must learn sensitivity with steadiness. For couples, stop arguing over style and start understanding function. When Tritiya says, you do not understand me, they may really be saying, I do not feel emotionally safe with your tone. When Saptami says, you are making things complicated, they may really be saying, I need clarity and consistency so I can trust this bond. Beneath the conflict, Both are asking for love. They are just asking in different languages. Tritiya asks through feeling. Saptami asks through reality. In intimacy, this can become beautiful. Tritiya needs emotional atmosphere before the body opens fully. Saptami needs trust, respect, and consistency before surrender feels natural. When both are honored, this is not shallow passion. It becomes safe passion. It becomes the kind of intimacy where the body relaxes because the heart feels protected and the life around the relationship feels stable. For singles, Tritiya and Saptami teaches you a powerful lesson. Do not only look for chemistry. Look for the person whose emotional rhythm can hold your nervous system and your future. If you are Tritiya dominant, you need someone stable, honest, devoted, and practical, but not cruel. You need someone who can protect your sensitivity without controlling your privacy. If you are Saptami dominant, you need someone warm, forgiving, emotionally intelligent, and family sensitive, but not chaotic. You need someone who can soften your life without destabilizing it. For those who are recently divorced, this pairing carries a hard but healing message. Sometimes love does not fail because there was no love. Sometimes love fails because one person kept asking for emotional tenderness and the other kept offering practical responsibility. One said, "Feel me." The other said, "Trust me." One wanted softness. The other wanted order. Both felt rejected because neither knew how to translate the other. And if you are healing from a breakup, listen closely. A Tritiya wound often says, "I gave my heart, I forgave, I tried to hold the emotional world, but I was not cherished." A Saptami wound often says, "I worked, I stayed, I served, I tried to keep things stable, but I was not respected." Both wounds are real. Both wounds need dignity. Now, let us go deeper into daily life. Tritiya may want a home filled with emotional memory, meals, family conversations, rituals, private jokes, small gestures, and a feeling that life together has soul. Saptami may want a home that functions. Routine, order, responsibilities, clear roles, practical rhythm, honest decisions, and reliability. If they respect each other, the home becomes both warm and stable. If they disrespect each other, Tritiya says, "This house has no heart," and Saptami says, "This house has no discipline." In communication, Tritiya needs tone, Saptami needs truth. So the medicine is truthful tenderness. Saptami should not dilute truth, but should deliver it with care. Tritiya should not reject truth, but should receive it without turning every correction into abandonment. When this happens, both grow. In conflict, this pairing should never fight when one person is emotionally flooded and the other is impatient for resolution. Tritiya needs time. Saptami needs clarity. So make an agreement. Say, "I need time, but I'm not leaving." Or say, "I need clarity, but I'm not attacking you." That one sentence can save days of misunderstanding. In physical intimacy, create safety before intensity. Tritiya opens through emotional presence. Saptami opens through trust and respect. Touch becomes more healing when the relationship outside the bedroom is not filled with criticism, confusion, and resentment. Safe passion requires safe daily conduct. At the highest level, Tritiya and Saptami can create one of the most grounded forms of love. Not the loudest love, not the most dramatic love, but the kind of love that matures. The kind of love where one partner says, "I will hold your heart," and the other says, "I will hold the structure around it." Tritiya, your gift is nourishment, but do not let nourishment become emotional dependency. Saptami, your gift is devotion, but do not let devotion become rigid control. Tritiya, keep your softness, but strengthen your boundaries. Saptami, keep your truth, but soften your delivery. For couples, this is your invitation to stop fighting the difference and start using the difference. For singles, this is your reminder to choose someone whose nature complements your emotional body, not just your fantasy. For the divorced, this is your permission to grieve, understand, and rebuild without hatred. For those healing from heartbreak, this is your sign that love is not dead. Your discernment is being born. The deepest promise of Tritiya and Saptami is this: one protects the heart, the other protects the life around the heart. When both are conscious, love becomes emotionally safe, practically strong, and quietly sacred. If this reading spoke to you and you want to understand your own Tithi pairing, your emotional body in intimacy, or the deeper compatibility between you and someone you love, get an intimacy reading or compatibility reading with me. Your birth pattern carries the language of how you love, how you bond, how you withdraw, how you desire, and why certain relationships awaken you so deeply. Do not keep repeating the same emotional pattern without understanding it. Book a deep intimacy or compatibility reading with me and let us decode the emotional blueprint behind your relationships. Because the right insight does not just explain your love life, it can change the way you choose, the way you heal, and the way you love.